Now let's go behind the rock screen.
You're welcome to come on in. We'll bring out the moonshine, start telling lies and calling up the women. But no talk about racing. Come on.
Hey, everybody. This is Josh with the Dirt Court Jesters Podcast. And behind the rock screen with the driver of the number 7C Midget from Greencastle, Indiana, Chase Hodge. Chase, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So you're going from wrenching on the car to wheeling the car. I know you ran some races in 2025, but you're really going to dive into it here in 2026. But how did you get started into racing?
Yeah, so my dad has been racing for a long time. Started back in the late 70s, and then he actually had to quit. So about 5 years ago now, he got a non-wing sprint car, and we got back into it. And then, being at the track every weekend and working on the car kind of just sparked a love for the sport. So, I figured we'd go out and get a D2, and then, yeah, that's kind of where it all started. So
Nice. So what is your earliest memory of being at the track?
probably Putnamville, Indiana. That's our home track, Lincoln Park. Yeah, my dad running a 410 every weekend. And I'll give you a funny memory, actually. So
Okay.
I'm on the quad. We're coming back to the pit, and I just got some popcorn, okay? And I'm driving with one hand, and the brake's on this side, right? Well, I couldn't get to the brake because I had the popcorn, and I just smoked the car while it was on the jack. It was like my second time ever at the track. It was hilarious, but
Oh,
yeah, no, I
no.
mean, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I smoked it. And so, but yeah, I mean, other than that, just being at the track every weekend and watching my dad do it, it looked fun. And then, we got this iRacing rig for me, and from there, I just wanted to try it. So
Nice. You mentioned Putnamville, Lincoln Park. I got there for the first time last year, and I am a big fan. I hope to get back there. I really, really like that track.
yeah, it's a great track. We ran there last year in the D2, and unfortunately, I pulled all my tear-offs on the first lap, rookie mistake. So we didn't do too hot, but yeah, I mean, it's fast track, really fast. Definitely the fastest I've ever gone. And yeah, it gets a pretty big cushion there. So
Yeah.
and it's always super racy. So yeah, that's a great track that I would encourage everybody to go to.
Yeah, definitely. So you were wrenching on the car at the Chili Bowl. Talk about that experience. What was it like being there at the Chili Bowl, working on the car for your dad?
Yeah, so this is our 4th year we went this year. This year we actually, had some momentum going in because we made a qualifier the year before, but unfortunately we didn't plug in the battery. So car didn't run right last year. This year we go out for hot laps, and my dad got into the wall, and he went for quite the ride. So, we were looking for it. We thought everything was good. All it was a front bumper and the rear bumper. That's it. And so we fixed it, and he went out for the heat race. I think he went 9-5 or something like that. So he was in the qualifier again, and we go out there and the car wouldn't fire. So we figured out that the motor plate bolts disconnected when he flipped.
Ooh.
And we didn't know. So it wallered out the cam spud. So we have a guy named Kevin who wrenches on Bill Baylog's stuff for the Outlaws. And he went out and got us a new cam spud, and we put it in, and it still wasn't firing. So we called it there, didn't run the B main, didn't run the qualifier, and he was pretty banged up, so he didn't run it all Saturday night. And then we actually have a rental car, Chris Hartman. He ran for us. And in the heat race, I think he went like 1-6. Not too hot, but he's newer. He's only got like 4 races in a midget. So he went out for the C main or maybe the D main, one of those two, and did not transfer out. So he started pretty far back Saturday, but he did transfer through, I want to say 3. So he got better as the week went on, and that was good. And then, yeah, so it's Chili Bowl is awesome. There's so many people there to meet. So much happens. Anything can happen there. and it's a really great place to make a name for yourself. So I'll definitely be looking forward to running there, maybe in the next couple of years. So
nice. You talk about the bolts getting pulled through the motor plate, and my experience in seeing that up close and personal, if the bolts come through the motor plate, it was a pretty damn hard hit.
yeah, oh yeah, There's
So
a photographer that got it in slow mo while he was flipping, and you can see the nose of the car dug down really hard. He hit pretty good. So,
yeah,
but yeah, we got back to the shop and we unloaded everything and we were looking at it and there was half an inch gap from the motor to the actual frame. So that was not ideal.
yeah. Your dad was pretty banged up then. He's doing all right now.
Yep, he's doing good.
Good. So back to you. 2025, you ran 5 races, had 2 top 10s, a 12th, a 16th, and a 25th. I know you said you had some gremlins that you had to deal with there in the first couple races. What did you learn from those 5 starts in 2025?
Yeah. Well, I learned that I suck in the slick. If the track is slick, I'm not good. But yeah, I went from playing baseball and basketball, you win a lot. So going from that to racing, it really humbles you, super humbling. You got to just roll with the punches and, load it back in the trailer. And then, you got to race with respect and people will race you back with respect. But most of all, the grind, racing isn't, a lot of people that aren't in racing might think it's easy, but it's really not. You're in the shop long hours after work. It's definitely not cheap, very expensive. So, yeah, I'd say probably what I learned the most out of the 5 starts was just to keep your head up and keep rolling with the punches.
Yeah, you talk about being a grind, and especially you guys, family-owned teams. There's a lot of money and a lot of time that goes into it. A lot of stuff that folks don't see when you're at the track for the weekend. You're working during the week, and when you got spare time during the week, then you're working on the car, and then you're pulling to and from the tracks and trying to run probably as much as you can on the weekends. So it's like I said, a lot of time and effort that goes in, especially in your guys' instance where you're running a family-owned team.
Yeah, it's definitely a big commitment too. I actually just quit my job, so I ended up starting my own company up, and I plan on working about 3 days a week. That's it, and then dedicating Thursday, Friday, Saturday just straight to race cars. Because with
Nice.
the D2s, I think we have 1 race on a Thursday and a couple Friday, Saturday shows, and it's really hard to do that with a normal job. So
Yeah.
hopefully that all works out, and then we're gonna hit this full-time schedule, hit it hard, and hopefully that turns out pretty well.
Nice. So my first question is, you said you struggle in the slick. So obviously that's something we're going to have to fix, right? So
Yeah.
what are you
Yep.
doing? What are you trying to figure out? Are you watching guys, rewatching old races perhaps where tracks have slicked off, and trying to see how guys are running their lines? Or have you talked to anybody to try to figure out, what you need to do differently for your driving style when the track gets slick?
Yeah, definitely. At Circle City was the only race we had on flow, but unfortunately the car didn't fire for the feature, so I wasn't able to really watch that back. But my dad, he's kind of older, so he's not great when the track is elbows up, hammer down. But when it slicks off, he's one of the best race car drivers I've ever seen in my life. So having him kind of as a driver coach, let me know, let the car come to you, be patient, drive the car with the throttle. That helps a lot. But yeah, and then just watching other guys, you can tell when they let the tires get out from under them. And, the GoPros is another thing. When they have like an onboard camera, you can really hear the throttle and what they're doing with it. So that helps a lot as well. But yeah, definitely number 1 would just be slowing yourself down. That's my biggest problem. I'm super impatient. And, when you're running mid-pack or whatever and it's around the bottom, I hate it. So I just drive the car way too hard and end up just going backwards. So Yeah, definitely got to be patient, and then just listen to my dad. He's something else when it's slick. Never seen anybody drive a car like he does. So
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I know. I mean, if I tried to put myself in that spot, just being a fan in the stands, like I feel like I'd be impatient myself. Like, I'm in this thing because I want to go fast.
right, yeah.
But you're telling me I gotta feather the throttle and
Yep.
kind of feel the track, right? And so you're not smoking your tires off and just falling backwards. So a lot to learn out there, and you're going into your first full-time season. I'm sure there will be more learning curves in 2026 as well.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot to learn. Definitely a lot to learn. I'm decent when it's just hot laps and it's a hammer down track, but once it really builds a curve and gets slick and gets really technical, that's when I'm not very great. But that's just, again, I'm super impatient, and I just want to put it to the floor and go, and you can't do that. That's the thing about racing. There's so much into it. You got to be so good. You got to be perfect. So, and then setup is huge as well. We went from sprint cars, and back in the day when my dad raced, my grandpa set everything else up. So, my dad's learning too. And, one race we go out, like Coles County last year, that was my last race. For the heat race, it felt like the car was driving itself. The setup was perfect. But then we go out for Montpelier, and it's super slick to a curb. I was just not good at all. I was really slow. So everything has to be good, including setup and the driver. And yeah, you just got to be smart and be able to keep your tires under you. And one thing with me being newer is there's a feeling in the car, and I'm still getting used to the feelings. When you feel the car dig in, that's when you get on the throttle. And you can feel it sometimes you can't. So guys that have been racing for longer are able to tell that, and they're on it faster versus I'm buzzing the tire sliding through the corner or whatever it is.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about what my next question is you ran Montpelier, Circle City, Lincoln Park, and Coles County. Was there anything that surprised you in racing these different tracks? You talk about Circle City getting slick on you, but was there anything that surprised you at any of those tracks?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Putnamville is by far the fastest I've ever gone. But Coles County, with it being so small, that felt like the fastest I was actually going because you're so close to cars. One wrong move and you're done. So, yeah, I mean, I found out that I'm definitely a small track guy. I'm not very good at the big tracks. I don't know why, but and with the D2s being lower on horsepower, number one on the big tracks is you want to stay really straight as you can. And I don't know why, but I just love throwing the thing in there and getting sideways. And a lot of times that ends up screwing me. So, yeah, definitely. And it is nice going to new tracks all the time versus running the same thing over and over because, you race against new guys, you race on new dirt, different surfaces, different banking, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, Coles County by far was my favorite track. It's small, fun, and Montpelier is on the bigger side, but I mean, it's still fun. There's multi-groove racing. You can be on the bottom, be on the top, and it's still racy. But yeah, for me, I'm going with the smaller tracks. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, getting into this, you're going to run full time with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets in 2026. And one of the tracks that they've brought back year after year here recently is Eldora Speedway. So,
Oh yeah.
if we're going to get on a big track, that's the big track you got to get on, right? So,
right.
Have you started thinking ahead to 2026 and the tracks that you're going to see? Has any of that started crossing your mind yet?
Yeah, definitely. Especially Eldora. Like that's every kid's dream is racing at Eldora, and I won't poke at it too much, but there might be a little chance that my dad will be getting in a D2 and running Eldora against me.
Oh,
so that'll be a blast.
Nice.
He'll probably blow the doors off me and beat me by a mile, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, but man, that's a story you could tell for the rest of your life, though.
Right. Yeah. I can't wait for that. And for it to be, so it'll be my 6th race ever will be at Eldora. That is insane to think, but I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be super fun, I'm sure. And other tracks like Bloomington, that Chris guy that rents our car, he ran Bloomington in Midget Week in the national car. And, that was the only time I've been there, but it looked really fun. It looks super fast. So I'm looking forward to that. Paragon, my dad ran a non-wing car at Paragon every once in a while. So, I'd like to go there and race there. It's a super, it looks like a paperclip to me. The corners are so tight, and that track, I think it'll take a lot of learning there, a lot of brakes. That is my number one issue. I don't use the brakes enough. I do not use the brakes enough. So, I'm sure I'll be using them there at Paragon. And then where else do we go? I haven't been to any of the Ohio ones, so those will all be fun to go to. But
okay.
Yeah, definitely most looking forward to Putnamville. I'd like to get my get back there, not pull all my tear offs on lap 1. That'd be good. And then I like Coles County so much. We're actually gonna jump in the National Midget for the King of Coles, and I'm gonna run that. So hopefully that goes well, but we'll see. So yeah, USAC Midwest Thunder goes to a lot of tracks, and it's super fun. Nice, like to have it land a track like Eldora. That's great. And then Lawrenceburg, that track is probably going to be so fast. I watched my buddy Cale Coons. He won there, I think it was a couple years ago, and he was showing me some videos, and it looks so fun. Super fast, super banked. And, I was listening to Jim on here the other day, and he was saying how he loves Lawrenceburg. So we'll see. It seems like everybody likes Lawrenceburg. We'll see how it goes. It's obviously going to be fast. So
yeah. You got Eldora on the USAC Midwest Thunder Midget schedule in 2026. You got Lawrenceburg twice, I think. Limaland a couple times. Moeller, Fremont, Montpelier. Lincoln Park. Yeah, I've talked about this time and time again. I always love the schedule those guys put together with USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets. So I wonder, was there something specifically that attracted you to that series? Obviously, if you're running a D2, that's kind of where you're going to go, right? But is there anything aside from that attracted you to the Midwest Thunder Midget series?
Well, we've got a couple sprint cars. I think we have 2 complete sprint cars and one frame now, but we have 5 midgets, and they're all national cars. So, we have all these midgets, and we're looking at things to me to run. There's not much midget-wise besides the national series and, maybe Power Eye or Extreme, but that's not something you just want to jump into, right? So my dad, I think he was just scrolling on Marketplace one day and found a D2, and so we were looking at it, and we ended up getting it and looked into the USAC Midwest D2 series. And, it's all close to home, Indiana, Ohio, that's perfect. So besides location and then, being a step down from a national car, that definitely helps. And so, that seemed like a no-brainer. This is where I would want to start, unless I had a micro, maybe that's a little bit understandable. But having all the midgets and then just to grab a D2 motor and run around home, that definitely helps. So I think that's really how we ended up going with USAC. And yeah, it's close to home, so that helps.
Well, and you've been around that series. The Chuck and Greg do a good job of running that series, and then you talk to any of the guys that run with them, and the camaraderie is just there's competition there. Sure, go back and look at the points results for the last few seasons, and it's neck and neck. Usually with the top 5 at the end of the season, but the camaraderie and the work that gets done between the teams and the drivers is something I think is pretty cool about the series as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't talked to many drivers. I know I talked to Bryce Massengill a little bit because he was at the Coles County race, and he's a great guy. I'm sure he would help me if I asked for it or if I needed it. And then Chuck and Greg, I haven't really talked to them much, but they seem like good people. They run this program, so you got to be grateful for that. They get us at all these tracks. Got to be grateful for that. And yeah, everybody seems like it's a pretty tight-knit group. Everybody's nice. Nobody doesn't like each other. And yeah, the competition is absolutely there. we only ran 4 with them last year, but I think we can get up at least in the top 10 for points this year, especially running full time. So, obviously we're shooting at the championship and the rookie of the year, which that's the other thing. Rookie of the year, I think I heard Greg say there's 8 or 9 people. I could be wrong, but there's quite a few people for rookie of the year. So that's going to be a challenge for sure. I know Parker Perry, he's actually my buddy. He's running for rookie of the year as well.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be a challenge. But yeah, super good guys. Everybody, from Chuck and Greg all the way down to everybody that races. First race was at Montpelier last year, and immediately Matt Lux come over to the trailer and introduced himself and shook my hand. So they really welcomed me in, and that was super refreshing. And then everybody I've talked to seems pretty nice. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and it helps that they have been pumping out some pretty good drivers that have been taking the next step as well.
Oh yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most in your first full-time season in 2026?
Well, I could say a lot of things. Definitely Eldora. How can you not look forward to that? And racing against my dad, also that too. Probably most, I would go with coming back to Putnamville. I'm 15 minutes away from Putnamville, so it's super close.
Okay. Yeah.
And just going there last year and making a stupid rookie mistake that cost me. So probably Putnamville, but then you could say Circle City because, that was my second race. We actually had motor issues. I was running on 2 cylinders at Circle City, and I qualified 4th still, started on the pole of the heat race with 2 cylinders. We ended up running 3rd, so that started us 11th for the feature, and then it finally wouldn't fire. So I'd definitely like to go back there, see how I can do there. But, there's just so much to look forward to. Like I said, they go to so many great facilities and such good racetracks. And, there's just so much to look forward to. But definitely. The end goal 100% is to get the Rookie of the Year for sure. And then, see what we can do with the points.
There you go. So, you're trying to get your first full-time season under your belt going into 2026. Don't have a race yet this season. You had a handful of races last year, but I'm going to pose the question anyways. What is your plan in 2 years, 5 years? Do you see this as somewhere where you can get started, get your feet wet, figure things out, and kind of move up? I know you talked about your dad running 410 a lot there. So is that something that you're looking to try to do in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So, if everything goes perfect, the plan would be to run the D2 all this year. And then, the year after go into a national midget. And then the year after go into USAC sprint cars. So not this year, but next year, which would be 2027. I would like to be in a national midget and then run the sprint car a couple times at Putnamville and just a weekly show, see how the sprint cars are. But yeah, the end goal is obviously a wing sprint car. I think it is for every dirt racer. But, I think we take it one step at a time. We'll see. If I do really bad this year, there's no reason to move up to a national midget. Just because we have it doesn't mean I deserve it. So,
Sure.
I really got to prove myself to get in the national car and then, prove myself in the national midget to move up to the sprint car. And not only that, my dad doesn't want to take me around if I'm no good. Take me around the country if I'm no good. You know what I mean? So definitely going to prove myself. And then, just move up the ranks until, the end goal obviously is a wing sprint car. So.
Yeah, no, that's smart, looking ahead, but also understanding like I need to get things figured out here first before I can take the next step up. Is there other races aside from the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets that you've got kind of written down? Like I want to make this, are you trying to run as much as you can in that D2 this year so you can really know at the end of the season where you're at? What does the rest of 26 look like?
Yeah, so we're hitting every race with the USAC Midwest schedule. And then we're going to do the national midget with Coles County, the King of Coles. And then I saw something with Mara. There's rumors of a $10,000 race at Coles County for the Mara Midgets. So we definitely are going to hit that if that's a thing. And then I think that's it. I've also heard a little bit about a D2 show at DeCoin. I don't know if that's actually going to come up or not, but if it is, we're thinking about going there too. But that is all we have planned for me, because we're still going to run the rental with Chris Hartman and the National Midget. He's going to hit a couple shows as well. So those are our plans right now for 2026.
So what do you see? You ran 5 races last year. Do you want to be really involved in wrenching on the car when you're racing, or do you try to focus more on driving? Like, what does a night look like for you?
Yeah, I prefer to stay away and just drive it. I don't want to wrench on anything. But, obviously it's just me and my dad. So,
Sure.
If I'll, change the stagger or, do whatever it is. He does all the main maintenance like ride heights and messes with the shocks and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'll change stagger and whatnot, but I mostly stay away from the wrenching when I'm racing. And then when, Chris is out there or my dad's out there, then I really focus in. And that's where I learn most of everything I learn is when they're racing. Because, when I'm in the race car, I try to be so laser focused on what I'm doing. I really don't want to be wrenching on the car. But, if I have to, I will, obviously. I don't expect my dad to do absolutely everything because, he's already getting the car to the track for me and, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, I'll wrench if I have to, but definitely not preferred. Everybody likes driving the car. Nobody really wants to wrench on it. So yeah.
No, that's understandable, man. Big plans for Chase Hodge in 2026 and into the future. Hopefully 26 goes good for you. But before we go, we always got to do this with the drivers. I've got 10 lightning round questions for you. Chase, are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Question number 1, celebrity crush growing up.
Oh, that's tough.
Now, I know you're a younger guy, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only right answer would probably be Megan Fox from Transformers.
Oh, okay. All right. We always get different answers, man. And that's what I like about this. Favorite cartoon?
Cartoon was Scooby-Doo all the way. That's a no-brainer.
Okay. Some guys have it, some guys don't. Do you have a favorite pro wrestler?
A pro wrestler? Let's say Randy Orton.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. I like it. Anything that I say favorite song, but do you have a favorite album or something that you, when you're getting ready to race, something you like to hear, something you like in your ear? Is there a song that just gets you going?
Not really. I'd say on the way to the racetrack, we're going hard metal, volume all the way up on the radio. A little Alice in the Chains maybe.
Oh.
But not an exact song.
Okay.
Not an exact album. We just jam out, really get in the zone. So
nice.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, I like it. Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I'm not a big movie guy. I'd say, actually, yeah. I have one favorite movie, and that's Coraline. You probably haven't seen it.
I have not.
It's like a kid movie. I watched it when I was younger, like probably 20 times.
All right. No, I'm with you. Like, I'll watch movies, but it's really got to kind of pique my interest if I'm going to spend the time. And I'm also kind of picky about my movies. So, yeah, right. No, I'm with you. But no, you got one. Good. I like it. Racers usually don't have an answer to this one. I shouldn't say that. They usually have an answer to this one. It's the racetrack. But I'm going to ask, do you have a favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot? Okay, I'll do one without a racetrack, and then I'll do a racetrack one.
Nice. All right.
Ventura in California, we ran Turkey Night. I think it was 3 years ago now. So that's the racetrack one. That one was awesome. And then without a racetrack, I would probably say Puerto Rico. We used to go there, like every other year when I was younger. So that was definitely a good spot to go.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Ventura. I mean, tell me the view. What's the view like?
Yeah, it's insane. So at the time, Bill Rose actually owned the Midgets. We bought them off of him. So they were in his hauler, and you can climb up top and stand on it. So I'm on top of the hauler, and to my right is the racetrack, and to my left is the ocean.
Man.
So it was insane.
That's
Absolutely
awesome.
insane. I mean, you walk like 50 yards that way, you're on the beach, and you walk 50 yards that way, you're on a racetrack. I mean, it really doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, you say that, and I try to think. I mean, obviously, we got I'm biased. I grew up in Ohio, and I think a lot of people would agree Eldora is one of the premier dirt tracks in the country, right? Knoxville, everybody wants to go check out Knoxville, especially if you're a sprint car fan. But Ventura or any of the tracks. I mean, there's tracks that have gone away that were close to the water there in California. I try to think is there a track, I don't know, Smoky Mountain or I-75 do one that comes to mind for me in Ohio is Portsmouth. Portsmouth has got kind of the hills in the background. It's got the bridge, I think, if I remember correctly. Is there, because I like the beach, I like the ocean, but I also really like the mountains. So I guess I would wonder, is there something comparable in the mountains that's got a really cool backset? There's some good stuff over there in Pennsylvania too, but man, Ventura, that's got to be a cool track to see.
Yeah, it was probably the best track I've ever been to.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Something few people know about you.
Something few people know about me. Well, before this, I would say something people didn't know about me was that I'd only ran 5 races. I told a couple people that at the pits, and they didn't believe me. They're like, "There's no way. You've been racing for a couple years now. I swear this is my 4th race. I promise." But other than that, I would say 5 years ago now, I was actually an All-American baseball player.
Oh.
Yeah, so
very nice.
I was a pretty decent baseball player back in the day.
Did you so was that was in high school?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, all right. So did you consider continuing to play baseball, or how did that work out for you?
Well, my freshman year, no, it would have been my sophomore year. I was a dumb kid, and I got in trouble at school, and so I ended up getting kicked off the team. And from then on, I knew I was just going to get cut every year. So obviously the plan was, every kid's dream is to be a professional athlete. That was the plan. But, I did it to myself. So I ended up just hanging it up. And then, I got a job my junior year, and I've just been working ever since. And now I'm dabbling some race cars. So
yeah. Hey man, we all live and we all learn. We're all teenagers at some time, and we all look back and go, I probably shouldn't have done that. But you learn from it, and you sound like you got a good head on your shoulders. Now we're looking at going national dirt sprint car racing. That's a pretty big win in my opinion.
Right. I'd rather drive race cars than play baseball. So
okay, all right. So you get home from work, and you hit the garage door opener, and the car that, if the weather's perfect on Sunday, you're pulling it out and taking a nice spin around town. What would that car be?
I would probably say an older Chevy S10. I would be in a truck, probably not a car.
Okay.
So we'll go with the old S10s. Those are all pretty nice.
Okay. Like 70s, early 80s, like square.
Yeah, I don't
have
a date. I'm not that into it. But the old square body S10s, those are I love those things.
I can get behind that. I like those myself. Do you have a go-to meal?
A go-to meal. Um, I would say being a 19-year-old moved out, living on your own, probably pizza rolls. Those are a pretty good go-to meal. But when I'm staying over at my dad's, he probably a steak
Okay.
and some asparagus
Okay.
and some mashed potatoes,
All right. Nice.
or just some good old chili. I love me some chili, so yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. So asparagus, you got to roast the asparagus. You got to roast it. That's the only
Oh
way to
yeah,
have it.
my dad puts it on the grill and it's like black when he's done with
Oh,
it. So it's
okay.
got
All
like
right.
this crunch, but
Yeah.
it's so good, I promise.
Nice. I like to roast mine in the oven, but
Yeah.
that's that. I can do it on the grill, but in the oven, those are the only two ways to do it. Any other way is just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You shared a story already, but do you have, for the last lightning round question, do you have a funny story that you could share either from the track, at the shop, or on the way to one or the other?
Well, there's probably a lot at the shop that I just can't think of. At the track, I'm not sure.
Besides plowing into the car with the
Yeah, besides
quad.
just smashing the car with the quad. Okay, maybe here we go at Chili Bowl. My brother-in-law, my dad had just got done racing, so he's coming up the ramp, and my brother-in-law, he gets down to start steering the car, and we keep pushing it, right? And, it's super packed up there. You barely have anywhere to go. And so he's going, and they're interviewing, I think it's Chase McDermott, and my brother-in-law just smashed the flow guy and hit him in the
Oh,
leg. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a
oh.
big old meme, and all it is just my dad's car right there. There's just this big meme going around on Facebook and stuff, making fun of everybody, and it's like, oh my gosh. So that's
Oh,
a pretty
man.
funny one.
Oh, yeah. Like you said, it's pretty damn crowded there. Like that stuff
Oh
happens.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Chili
Before
Bowl
we,
is insane.
yeah. I've never been. I want to get, it looks, even Tulsa Shootout, like I wouldn't mind getting over there to any of those. It looks like a damn good time. And dirt racing is in a really good spot right now. I don't know if you've been following this, and this is kind of getting away from what we were talking about, but Eldora's renewals are this week, and I was looking at it earlier today, and aside from some spots in Eldora Village and Northside, all the camping for World 100 is already gone. And I
Oh
want to say
yeah.
there's like 80 spots left, 80 camping spots left for the World 100, and they haven't gone to the public yet.
Yeah, I think I
And
saw that.
yeah, and I think they expanded part of Eldora Village last year. So Kings Royal's not as crazy as World 100. World 100 will be in a couple weeks. World 100 camping will be gone. But
Right.
even in Kings Royal, like there were a good amount of spots in Northside and the back of Eldora Village, but most of the other stuff's already taken up. So that all long-winded to say that dirt racing's in a good spot where people are coming to the track. And there's big money on the line, and there's more cars out there running full time. So good thing to see for dirt track racing.
Yeah, 100%. I saw something Flo posted on about the Chili Bowl right after it, like something about the numbers they were hitting, and they're like insane. Like
Yep.
dirt racing is getting a lot of viewership, and that's great because
Yep.
one thing that keeps dirt racing going around is the sponsors, and there's not going to be sponsors if dirt racing just isn't popular.
Yeah.
So that's something that's really good with all the viewers and dirt racing growing is, getting more sponsors out to the drivers, and that's going to help a lot. Because I'm sure there's people out there that have raced before and now they can't because they don't have the money to.
Mhm.
So maybe that opens up opportunities for those people to get some sponsors and finally get back in the seat, or maybe people that are racing and just don't have great equipment.
Definitely.
Like I mean, Trey Osborne last night in the USAC race, everybody knows he doesn't have top-notch stuff. But, I mean, he just works so hard at what he does. And he picked up 1 or 2 sponsors, got some nice equipment, and look at him now. He just won last night.
You mentioned that, and I thought I read that he was running a 28-year-old Mopar in that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that thing was working.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's like Corey Day's midget motor that he was running. He's got a 20-year-old Mopar in his midget. Yeah. And, I mean, you've seen that thing. Corey Days, he rips that thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
well, Chase, before we go, where can everybody follow you? Do you have any merchandise available? And do you have sponsors that you would like to thank?
Yeah, everybody can find me on Facebook. It's Chase Hodge Racing. On TikTok, it's the same. And on Instagram, it's the same. So all of them are Chase Hodge Racing. And then I currently don't have a website for merch, but I do have some T-shirts. Usually, if you just want to reach out to me, I don't know how well you can see that, but
nice.
So we've got some T-shirts and sweatshirts. If you just want to reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, I can get you an order and get you one. And so we'll have a website up soon, but it's hard telling when. And then sponsors, Blues Wrecker Service, and Ortiz Nation. That's all I've got right now. So, but super grateful for them, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So,
definitely. Well, won't be long. You'll be at the track. I'm sure you'll have merchandise with you at the track as well. And you guys heard it. He's got a couple sponsors. I'm sure Chase is always looking for more, so you can hit him up on Facebook for that as well. Chase Hodge, driver of the 7C Midget from Greencastle, Indiana. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Guys, this is Josh with the Dirt Court Jesters Podcast, and we hope to see you at the track.